Hello, I'm Desiree Stordahl, the Senior Research and Education Manager at Paula's Choice. And next to me is the lovely Shealeigh.
Hi, I'm Shealeigh. I am the Product Education Specialist here at Paula's Choice.
And today's In the Glow is going to get you in the know if you have dry skin. We're going to do tips, some of our products, and some of our routines here at Paula's Choice that are going to make things really easy for you. And also go over the causes of what causes dry skin, because a lot of times it could be something that you're actually doing to your skin. You might not genetically have that dry skin, but genetics is definitely a factor for some people. Things like sun damage, environmental stressors, anything that's chipping away at your skin's surface is not going to allow it to hold on to its moisture as well as it should. So we'll get into what you can do about that. But reminder, we need you guys to write in with questions. We want to make this interactive. So please, as we're going, Allie's behind the camera and she will let us know what you're asking. It can be dry skin related. It can be any skin concern or anything you really want to know. This can be an Ask Us Anything episode. Let's make it juicy.
So I think a lot of the time people get confused between whether or not their skin is dehydrated or if it's dry. And there are some overlapping signs and almost symptoms of both skin types, but some key factors. Dry skin is your skin type. It is not fleeting. It does not change with the wind. It truly is your skin's identity, versus dehydrated skin can come and go. It can be based on environmental factors. It could be based, maybe you use something a little too harsh one day and your skin's feeling a little bit dehydrated after. But fundamentally or biologically, dry skin is a lack of oil, a lack of lipids in your skin, and dehydrated skin is a lack of water.
Yeah, so it'll be that perpetual dryness for truly dry skin. And then for some people with dehydrated skin, they might even describe it as oily on the top, but it feels tighter dry on the underneath. So that's kind of an easy way to tell. It's not that you're actually lacking oils. It might be a product that you're using. It might be something seasonal going on, but there are definitely ways to address that.
Yeah, and some of the things that we do oftentimes that exacerbates dry skin, the things you need to avoid are the same things that everybody needs to avoid, whether or not you're combo, oily, if your skin is sensitive, and that includes things like using ingredients such as denatured alcohol, drying fragrances, essential oils, not scrubbing your skin.
Scrubs. Or super hot water. People think that it feels so great, and it does. It can feel really nice, but that can also leave your skin in a state of just impairment that leaves your skin susceptible to that dryness or that dehydration.
So what do we do when our skin is already susceptible and vulnerable to perpetual dryness, even dehydration? If you do take really good care of your skin, there's some ingredients we can call out that you can use and weave into your daily routine. But best practices include daily sunscreen. Always, you need that extra barrier of protection. What else?
Giving your skin the types of ingredients that are going to reinforce its surface. So think about ceramides really help with that. Ingredients like electrolytes can help with your skin's own water pathways. So we know that skin is comprised between 10 to 30% of water content. And it's really about keeping that water content in skin so it can hold on to its own hydration. So those are some really good examples, but there's also emollients that you might need if you have truly dry skin. So any type of plant oil that's non-fragrant will be good for your skin. Things like shea butter or cocoa butter will be really good for your skin. And then other types of hydrating ingredients and skin replenishing ingredients, your hyaluronic acids of the world, your glycerins, all of those things that are giving your skin back those vital substances.
Omega fatty acids. You mentioned ceramides, also ceramide precursors, which like phytosphingosine, which is a very long ingredient name, but ingredients like ceramide precursors can help retrain your skin to produce more ceramides, which that process might have slowed as your skin became more damaged and susceptible to dryness. So lots of good ingredients.
Lots of good ingredients. I know antioxidants sound like a broken record here, but antioxidants also help because, again, it's all about helping your skin fight off any sort of free radical damage and staying intact, staying strengthened. So antioxidants are going to step in to help in that regard as well.
Absolutely.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
You guys ready for some questions? We have a lot.
Go for it.
Okay.
First, some general questions. Is PC cruelty-free?
Yes,
Yes.
100%, and we are Leaping Bunny certified, which means that not only our products are not tested on animals, but the folks and manufacturers that we get the ingredients from do not test on animals.
fantastic. We've gotten a handful of questions about how to treat dark spots, melasma, hyperpigmentation, all of those types of uneven skin tone problems. What are your takes on that?
There's a couple different methods you can do, actually a few different. Hydroquinone for dark spots is the gold standard, and we do have our triple action dark spot eraser products that feature hydroquinone. It's at a 2% concentration, and that's really going to help with stopping that melanin process that's creating that dark spot, this discoloration. Vitamin C is another really good one. Some people have their own feelings about hydroquinone and they don't want to go down that road. And a really high concentration of vitamin C, like in our C25 Super Booster, is an excellent way to target those dark spots. And it has a good texture for spot treating as well.
Azelaic acid is another really good option. We've got our 10% azelaic acid booster, and all of those great ingredients are wonderful and work well on their own, but none of it's gonna work if you don't wear sunscreen. So SPF 30 every single day or higher, and reapply when you're in direct sunlight.
Do we have an acne line?
Yes, it's
we
called
sure do.
Clear. It is available in a regular strength collection or an extra strength, all of which those start with the pore normalizing cleanser, both of which have a 2% salicylic acid exfoliant and a benzoyl peroxide clearing treatment available at a 2.5% and a 5% concentration.
And then we have add-ons in the Clear line as well. We have a clear moisturizer for night, clear moisturizer for day with sunscreen, so you're protected on either ends of those spectrums.
And the new mask.
Oh, and the new mask. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Clear is really rounding out.
Okay, so more for dry skin. Loris Beauty Find says she has combo skin, but right now it's really dry, and so she could use our help.
Okay. So sometimes it only takes tweaking one or two products. You don't have to necessarily reset your whole routine. So it might be as easy as, trying a different cleanser, swapping in a richer cleanser. This one has more of a lotion texture that a lot of people do really well with. None of our cleansers are stripping, but this one in particular is just really nicely hydrating, leaves skin very soft, and is going to be ultra gentle and ultra mild. So that's a good place to start. Oh, excuse me. It's the Optimal Results Hydrating Cleanser from the Resist Dark Blue line for normal to dry skin.
And if you want more, almost like of a not in a bad way, but an oily lotion, one that's a little more softening and fluid, we've got the Softening Cream Cleanser in the Skin Recovery line. So you've got two options. I really like this one for removing makeup as a pre-cleanse step.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you have more?
I was going to add the oil booster is also nice because you can really customize anything you're already using to just add some more emolliency into it. And you're getting a ton of different non-fragrant plant oils in here that also have antioxidant properties. So you're getting, the moisturizing factor out of it, but it's also kind of nice to know you're getting an anti-aging factor out of it and something that's protecting your skin from the pollution by the nature of the antioxidants. So this one, I always just keep in my drawer because I never know what's going to be going on, especially as I'm traveling to different places or on a plane where my skin gets more dried out. This just makes it easy to customize my routine and amp things up a bit.
I also like that seasonally too. So if you have a moisturizer that you love, you want to use it year round, but you are experiencing a little more dryness or dehydration in the winter, you can just add in the oil booster. It keeps you in the exact same moisturizer. No need to switch it up.
And this question is along the same lines. Bardo Baby Doll asks, what do we do if the hydration we put onto our skin doesn't seem to last? And she has a combo skin type as well.
So you could try a larger variety of ingredients to really fortify your skin's moisture barrier. So it would depend on what you're already using, but if you're just lathering on emollient ingredients, maybe try adding in a really lightweight product that has omega fatty acids or hyaluronic acid, and then layering the emollient products on top so that you're getting the best of both worlds to really lock in that moisture.
Yeah, that's a really good point because, you can load your skin up with all these emollients, but if you're not giving it the right replenishing ingredients to actually help it hold on to its own moisture, then it's just not as going to be as effective as it should be. And you might just also need a richer texture. If the lotion or cream you're using is more of like a medium weight, you might need to amp it up to something that's a little bit richer, a little bit denser.
Yeah, and a great product to layer underneath any moisturizer, no matter what skin type you have, but especially in this situation, if you're finding that your skin is having a hard time really holding on to that moisture, is a toner, especially one of these two. So the Advanced Replenishing Toner in the Resist line is loaded with omega fatty acids. Again, those nourishing non-fragrant plant oils.
Hyaluronic acid.
Everything we just said pretty much. That's your one and done step underneath moisturizer. Or if you just want something really, really softening, a little bit, again, more on the oil side, the Enriched Calming Toner from Skin Recovery is a great option.
And if you guys have watched In the Glow before, you've heard me mention this before, but I don't have dry skin, I have oily skin. But I happen to love this, even though it is formulated for dry skin. For me, it's like my liquid moisturizer, so I don't have to use anything else. So if it does that for me, just think for dry skin, it's just gonna be that much extra of a layer of hydration for you, and an easy way to do it.
Dilo says, the air and heat in my office dries out my skin. They layer hydrating products and wear SPF every day. Can they spray a toner or rehydrate the skin later in the day somehow?
Yeah, you actually can. You can do that. We used to sell a refreshing moisture mist ourselves, but you can take any spray bottle that's opaque with a sprayer, and you could pour a toner like this in there and spritz it on throughout the day. This texture, you know, I've never actually spritzed this one on.
It's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's good. But another thing you could do is, I know it sounds kind of weird because it's in your office and maybe it's not the right setup for it, but you can add a humidifier. So I know at our house right now, we're starting to turn on the heat, we're starting to use the fireplace, and the air is more dry. And because my daughter had a cold, we started putting a humidifier in the house, which I already knew was a good moisturizing tip, but it just reminded me as I was using it for her cold that it was actually helping with the dryness of my skin happening. So it would have to be in like a small enough area for you to really feel it, but that's another thing you could add into it.
Yeah.
And we had a question about the best exfoliant for normal to dry skin.
Ooh.
Well, for folks with dry or even dehydrated skin, AHA is going to be a terrific option for you. It does a really good job softening those upper layers of skin, helping your skin to shed that dead built up skin cells that are maybe preventing all of these really wonderful products and ingredients from penetrating and getting to where they need to go. So AHA lotion, we've got the 8% AHA lotion. We also have this in a gel texture, but this is going to be a great place to start. If you're more on the sensitive side, we do have a 5% AHA in the Resist for Normal to Dry Skin line, but generally speaking, most people can start off with the 8% AHA lotion just fine.
Yes. And if you're a guy, just don't put AHA on right after you shave. Can get a little bit of stinging with that.
Yikes. Awesome. Well, we've actually started walking through our whole routine. I know how to talk. Cleanser, toner, we've got our exfoliant, and then we can start to get into some treatment options or serum step. Up here, we've got our Moisture Renewal Oil Booster, which we were talking about earlier, those 9 nourishing non-fragrant plant oils that are antioxidant rich, good for you all year round. And we haven't talked about the hyaluronic acid booster yet,
this
though.
is one of your favorites.
I love hyaluronic acid. It is one of those ingredients that skin can't get enough of. It's naturally occurring in our skin, and like some of the other ingredients we've talked about, omega fatty acids, ceramides, our skin has a harder and harder time really holding on to those ingredients that it creates naturally, and so topically replenishing it is the best way to go. This product has 2 different types of hyaluronic acid. One is a little bit lighter weight, one's a little bit heavier. So the lighter weight one can get down a little bit deeper, give you that longer lasting hydration, while the heavier one sits more on the surface and gives you more of that plump, dewy, instant hydrating effect. It's amazing.
And that can, to a certain degree, even help with things like wrinkles. When you're plumping skin like that, it just kind of helps smooth everything out, makes those fine lines a little bit less noticeable, and just also helps your skin just have that like healthy glow to it. So hyaluronic acid is a nice one because it's great for dry skin, but really any skin type can benefit from it. And in this texture, it's more of a gel, kind of like a fluid type of gel. So it's gonna play nicely whether you're on the dry or oily end of the spectrum.
Absolutely. And we can't forget a mask every once in a while.
Far distance with my acne, it really helps keep those breakouts at bay. But that azolate comes in and it just does a little bit more of that targeted fighting for me. So So I would say try adding that in, and it's really gentle. It's not like some anti-acne products where your skin is left feeling, harsh and irritated and red. It's really a soothing way and a nice extra step you can add. Also, niacinamide, because of its cell communicating action, can step in and help with those pore issues as well. It's normalizing that pore, so it's helping things like blackheads not become blackheads. It's helping things like clogged pores that sometimes turn into breakouts or are breakouts. Just helps normalize everything. So if you wanted to try another step, I think that's a really nice one. And I feel like for me personally, it's something that's helped, especially with the post hyperpigmentation after a leftover breakout mark. It just speeds up that healing process and helps everything fade a little bit more quickly.
Agreed.
And just a reminder to our viewers, we're not going to be addressing any comments or questions that are rude or abrasive. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
What are your tips for actually sticking with a specific routine?
For sticking with a specific routine.
I would say start with what you can manage on your most hectic day, on your busiest day, on the days where you don't want to do your skincare, but you absolutely have to. So if that's a cleanser and SPF, start there and then slowly work up. I would say, though, picking products that you love the texture and the feeling of, that you look forward to applying, is another key factor. If it's a chore for me to put something on because it doesn't feel really elegant on my skin, I'm not going to use it.
I feel like for sunscreen, that's a really big one. Like, so many people have this, idea built up in their head of sunscreens that they used to use and they just didn't feel great about, and then you don't end up wearing sunscreen because it doesn't feel nice on your skin. We offer so many different sunscreen options at Paula's Choice. You really, if the first one you try you don't love, exchange it. We have the best return policy. We want to make sure that you get something that your skin loves. So do that. And then I think the other thing to keep in mind is just to keep your expectations realistic too. Sometimes people start a product and they think that within 2 or 3 days they should see this dramatic difference. And for a lot of products and a lot of ingredients, it takes longer than that to really see results. And a lot of it is also about preventing things, preventing the signs of aging, preventing, slowly building skin's resiliency back up. So give your products time. And I think having those realistic expectations will help you keep to a consistent routine a little bit better.
Okay, I want to make sure we get through what we want to talk about with dry skin. So let's get back to that. And then I promise at the end we'll have time for a few more questions. Thank you.
Great. So, we're just about done. So we just started talking about the sunscreen options. For dry skin, I think a lot of the sunscreen options you'll find tend to be mineral-based, which is wonderful. It's better for redness-prone skin, sensitive skin, and you'll find that in our Skin Recovery SPF moisturizer. But if you just want that workhorse, blend right into the skin, no muss, no fuss texture of a synthetic SPF, then the Skin Restoring in the Resist for Normal to Dry Skin line is a fantastic option.
Let me see if I can get this off.
It does have shea butter as one of the primary moisturizing components. Do you want me to try it? Teamwork. I did just put the mask on my hand, so this is probably a bad idea.
Well, I was going to show you how well it blends into skin and doesn't leave a white cast, but you can just imagine that.
Well, you'll just gotta use your imagination. But it does seamlessly blend in, even though it does have that shea butter. It doesn't feel heavy or occlusive. So we've got SPF moisturizers for dry skin, no matter what SPF active you prefer.
And then we can't forget eye cream, because this eye cream, guys, even if you have oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, normal skin, under the eye area, pretty much all of us can use hydration. And so this is a very, very rich anti-aging eye cream. Something so rich that, in fact, we always say melt it between your fingers a little bit to help the formula really go into skin, and then lightly dab it on. Don't aggressively rub anything on your skin. Anytime you're rubbing skin, you can see it move. You're helping gravity do what it's already going to do, which means sagging, and you don't want to pull up that elastin. But just loaded with anti-aging ingredients, really hydrating, shea butter, The types of things that are going to give your skin that instant hydration, but also work hard for it over time in the anti-aging factor.
Also, double duty, use this as a lip balm at night.
Ooh.
It's fantastic. It has this really, like I said, balmy texture that you can just dab it on, you're good to go.
I don't think I can ever give up my lip and body treatment though. Our Paula's Choice lip and body treatment, oh my gosh. I talk about it all the time because there's nothing like it. Like put it on at night, last thing you do, and you really do wake up to smoother, softer, beautiful lips in the morning. That
Put them both on.
Yeah, put them both on.
And then finally, your PM moisturizer, or our PM moisturizers are PM moisturizers because they don't have sunscreen, but you can absolutely use them in the daytime. Just make sure you put it on a separate sunscreen afterward. But we've got our Skin Recovery Replenishing Moisturizer and our Barrier Repair in the Resist line. Barrier Repair is a little bit more lightweight than the Skin Recovery Moisturizer, but that one has 0.01% retinol in there if you would really like to target the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles and large pores, discoloration. And then the Skin Recovery Replenishing Moisturizer is just that creamy, rich, nourishing moisturizer that all dry skin wants and craves and needs without any of the frills.
And when I jumped ahead to eye cream, PS, that's more of a nighttime step. You could do this under your sunscreen, but you would definitely not want to do it on top. You don't want to dilute your sun protection in any sort of way.
Yes.
Any other questions before we go?
Lots and lots. Oh. But we'll only have time for a few. I'm sorry, guys.
No pressure.
I know. This is a really good one. What light moisturizer would you recommend for someone with dry skin, but they don't want a heavy feel of a moisturizer?
Ooh, okay, a couple come to mind for me. So I really love the texture of our Omega Complex moisturizer.
That was my first thought.
And then if you were going even lighter than that, I would say our new Electrolyte Moisturizer, which I describe as this round rain cloud texture that as you blend it into skin, it just kind of has this burst of liquid hydration. So that would be really lightweight. I think the Omega has a bit more body to it, but either of those would be good options. Do you have a favorite?
The clear oil-free moisturizer. It's oil-free and silicone-free, but it's intensely hydrating. I think that also fills the gap in between like the cloud-like texture of Omega and the rain cloud-like texture of the Electrolyte. You've got clear right in the middle.
A general question, how about really deep clogged pores? What do we do about those?
Start with your daily BHA application. We also have a 4% BHA that you can use on a daily basis. And for super stubborn areas, apply the BHA 9. It is for a spot treatment. It is used as a spot treatment, but you can apply it on your nose, on your chin, those areas that you're prone to really stubborn congestion, and then just use your 2% in the morning.
And then that's one of those areas where we got to come back to realistic expectations too.
Right.
It depends on how deeply rooted and what type of clog that is. If it's, the hard cystic acne, there's sometimes that you just need to go see a dermatologist that's, over-the-counter products can only get you so far.
Yeah.
So it might be something you need to see your dermatologist for. But BHA 9, like Shealeigh was saying, that's my go-to. When I know something's brewing under that surface and I want to make sure I nip it in the bud, that is my go-to.
And a tip I think a lot of people forget about is when you have those really stubborn areas of pore congestion, you don't need to apply your rich, super heavy, occlusive moisturizers necessarily on those areas because they're doing a great job producing their own oil and their own sebum. So no need to apply even more on top of that.
Yeah, it might make it worse, really.
Yeah.
We had a question earlier about New York and having a store in New York. Can you guys talk about what's going on there this week?
Just a little store opening. Nordstrom is finally opening a flagship door in Manhattan. The official store opening date for the general public is on Saturday, I believe. So right around the corner.
Hudson Yards, right?
Yes. And stores open, I think, really early. And there you will find our full Nordstrom assortment not just one shelf, not two, but 3 full shelves of Paula's shoes. We've got 2 amazing sales associates representing at that door, so if you would like a custom consultation from one of them, they're happy to help.
I think Brian might be popping by.
Oh, Mr. Brian.
No way.
Yes. So you might get lucky and see him there if you stop in.
And Deb's going to be there too, right?
Absolutely.
And Deb Kilgore, yes, our amazing director of education, she will be there. She'll be there all day Saturday. She'll be there even earlier this week. So if you're a Nordstrom card holder, look into the pre-opening events because you might just be able to pop in and get some one-on-one time with her.
Okay, guys, that's in for this week's show. Thank you so much for all of your questions, and until next time,
All right, bye.
bye-bye.